Arsenal 2, Tottenham 2. Pochettino's tactics win the first half, but Emery's tactical changes give Arsenal a point. Before this video starts, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss out on any of the tactical analysis, scout reports or snap documentary videos coming up over the next few weeks, and give this video a like if you enjoy it. After this video, check out the first episode of our Player Roles Explained series and our video analysing who is a better centre forward, Anthony Martial or Marcus Rashford. Unai Emery set up his side in a 4-3-3 with Leno in goal, Maitland-Niles at right back, Kolasinac at left back, with Luiz and Socrates as two centre backs. Xhaka was a deep single pivot in midfield with Guendouzi playing as a left central midfielder with Torreira on the right, while the front three consisted of Pepe on the right, Aubameyang on the left with Lacazette playing through the middle. Pochettino used a narrow 4-4-2 shape with Lloris in goal, Davinson Sanchez at right back, Danny Rose at left back with Alderweireld and Vertonghen in the middle. Winks and Sissoko played as a deep double pivot in midfield with Lamela on the right, Eriksen on the left and Son and Kane playing up front together. Emery's side defended in a narrow 4-3-3 shape when out of possession, but in the first 10 minutes didn't press high from Tottenham's build-up. The front three sat high and narrow but were content to allow the Tottenham centre-backs to have the ball. When the ball was played out wide of the narrow three forwards, it was the job of the wide central midfielders Torreira and Guendouzi to move out to apply the pressure. In possession, Tottenham used a narrow 4-4-2 with Winks and Sissoko sitting as a deep double pivot, whilst Lamela and Eriksen moved inside into narrow positions behind the Arsenal midfield, whilst Son was positioned high up the pitch alongside Kane. Tottenham scored within 10 minutes after a long ball up the pitch was terribly defended by Socrates, who raced out of the backline needlessly, lost the header to his own player, and then David Luiz vacated his central position, which left a massive space for Lamela to make the run into, and his shot was parried into the path of Eriksen to make it 1-0. After this, the Arsenal front three began to press Tottenham man-to-man aggressively from the build-up, creating a diamond pressing system, with Aubameyang and Pepe moving close to the centre-backs when they received the ball, whilst Lacazette would sit slightly deeper, cutting off the passing lane into Winks and Sissoko. The problem with this was that when Guendouzi or Torreira had to shuttle out wide to close down the Tottenham fullbacks, they left a massive space between them and Granit Xhaka, and the Tottenham midfielders Eriksen and Lamela would drop into, receive the ball from the fullbacks, and the Tottenham attack would be able to move further up the pitch bypassing the Arsenal press. Son's positioning both in and out of possession was also interesting. When Tottenham didn't have the ball, they would drop into a 4-4-2 shape, with Eriksen moving over to the left to create a flat four in midfield. Rather than dropping deep centrally, Son would maintain a wide high position high up the pitch. The reason for this was because Pochettino recognised that playing Son in the front line would allow Tottenham to transition their attacks quickly by playing balls in behind the advanced fullbacks. When Tottenham won the ball back in a deep position, they would look to play a direct ball into Kane's feet when he dropped off from the forward line, so that he could turn, then bring in Eriksen or Lamela into play, while Son would be making a run in behind Socrates or Luiz. Arsenal in the first half were being overrun in the centre of midfield as they were effectively leaving the front three high up the pitch, meaning that the two wide central midfielders had to either move out wide to close down the advancing wide players, thereby expanding the space between them and Xhaka for Tottenham to play into, or if they stayed tight next to Xhaka, the space wide of them would be created for Eriksen, Lamela and the two fullbacks to move into. This enabled Tottenham to switch the side of possession quickly when in the Arsenal half and stretch the back line in midfield. Emery's idea behind keeping Pepe and Aubameyang high and wide when out of position seemed to be that when Arsenal won the ball back, they could use Lacazette as Tottenham were using Kane by playing the ball directly into his feet when he dropped off from the two centre-backs, so he could then turn and play the ball out to Aubameyang or Pepe, who would then have a one-on-one with the Tottenham centre-backs, as the Tottenham full-backs would be high up the pitch from the attack. In the second half, it was evident from the start that Pochettino instructed Lamela to follow Kolasinac back to create a back five almost, in an attempt to nullify the Bosnians' attacking output, as in the first half his overlapping past Sanchez was a significant part of the Arsenal attack. With Kolasinac playing very high when Arsenal were in possession, this gave Tottenham space when there was a turnover to counter into on the right flank, using Kane and Lamela to transition the attacks. Arsenal continued to press Tottenham high from their build-up, but Tottenham weren't able to get out the press as easy, with the energy of Torreira and Guendouzi in particular being critical to Arsenal regaining the ball off Tottenham in their own half or forcing them into a long ball. Pochettino made a tactical mistake when he brought on Dele Alli, pushed Son out to the right and moved to a 4-4-1-1 defensive system with Eriksen sitting behind Kane. The idea was to move Eriksen centrally so that when Tottenham did regain possession, his technical ability would enable Spurs to sustain periods of possession in the centre of the park, thereby moving away from the quick transitioning counter-attacking system in the first half. Eriksen playing slightly deeper than Kane in theory would have stopped Xhaka getting on the ball as much, as he was very good at switching the Arsenal attacks from that deep position. However, what this meant was that Tottenham lacked pace and the ability to transition the ball high up the pitch, with Son's dribbling ability less effective from a deeper and wider position on the right. This essentially enabled Arsenal to dominate the ball in Tottenham's half. Emery made some excellent tactical decisions, which was first to bring on Ceballos on into the midfield, which added creativity to the Arsenal attack, enabled them to transition the ball high up the pitch with his dribbling, and meant they were able to keep possession under pressure from Tottenham's midfield, thereby creating less turnovers. When Emery brought on Mkhitaryan, he moved to a 4-2-3-1 system, with Ceballos playing in behind Aubameyang, which gave Arsenal 5 men in midfield and allowed them to close up spaces in central midfield, nullifying the Tottenham attack. Arsenal eventually got their equaliser from Aubameyang and dominated the second half. What this game showed was that Son has to play in a central advanced position, as he offers Tottenham attack pace and dribbling ability that is essential for them to sustain attacks. Ceballos also has to be a starter for Emery with the impact he made when he came on, and against sides who are very good at being able to play through midfield, Emery can't start with Pepe and Aubameyang so high up the pitch in defensive situations because the midfield ends up getting overrun. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.